name is Shivam. I'm 28 years old and 6 feet tall, and these are my profiles.
Acting as a profession is more romanticized than any other. The sheer ability to metaphorically morph into another human is nothing less than a superpower. As an actor, you have the power to deliver a well-structured narrative, which in turn summons a variety of emotions in the audience. Your conscience knows how it all unfolds each and every time. Despite that, you keep the flow of the narrative as fresh as possible. It's truly a great profession, but in the end, you play people. From stories written about people who've existed or people conjured based on ideas that have been influenced by an incident in space and time. Ideas conjured by people, nonetheless. I recently watched the first season of True Detective. The overarching theme is of pessimism, an emotion I have recently found to relate to a lot lately. A pessimistic point of view seems a lot more closer to reality. I also feel the spectrum of possibilities are a lot more when operating from a pessimistic point of view. Attaining what is good seems a lot more further than bad. Having said that, the glass can always be filled to the brim when it's half empty. A well-written novel can very well portray a grey character or a grey theme. You as the reader might relate to the story, might even go to the extent of feeling and experiencing the details mentioned in the story. But for all intents and purposes, you are not a part of the story. You are far removed. Similarly, in the case of a well-written screenplay, the themes and characters can be descriptively portrayed as grey. The reader reads the narrative simulating the situations in their mind. They're in it, in the moment. But they are far removed from the situation nonetheless. Well, it's a little different for an actor playing a character in the narrative. They know the end of their arc and the narrative as a whole. It's not grey that they represent then. It's a series of black and white. The constant moral dilemma of good and bad. What is good or bad? The Trolley Problem, bystander at the switch, is a famous thought experiment. You're on a bridge where there is a lever to change the direction of an oncoming trolley. One set of tracks lead to a group of 5 people who for all intents and purposes are stranded on the track and have nowhere to go. Your inaction would inevitably lead the trolley towards the 5 people. The other set leads to one person who again is stranded and has nowhere to go. You have full control over their fate. Who would you save? The devil is in the details. If you were completely isolated from an adverse situation for whatever reason, then by the virtue of your distance from the said situation, you would see a lot of grey. Good and bad from your perspective would justify and nullify itself. Black and white with no definitive boundaries. Specifics indistinguishable like a pixelated photo. Quick to pass your judgment, you would go about your day as business as usual. In that case, does your indifference stem out of an evil place? Or is it the lack of connection and clarity? Or is it a low bandwidth to deal with the specifics? Is not knowing and not investigating further before concluding make you a bad person? I honestly don't know. But I do have a theory, and if I may propose, I think there is a lot in common between the person facing a dire situation and an actor who plays people for a living.